Like you said, I used to be a pastor. That's not the expected response that I normally get. It's normally silence. Because being a pastor socially is about the equivalent of walking around with blood dripping out your eyes. I would have got a better response walking into the room tonight saying, "The fun sponge has arrived." Being a pastor socially, like it's kind of the adult version of the third grade hall monitor. Everybody thinks you're marking down everything you're doing wrong with no real authority. And so I've been doing this comedy thing, resigned from pastoring around May, and I've noticed a few things, the difference between comedy and pastoring. The first one being is, I don't have to pretend to like the crowds anymore. Next, I've never had to do a sermon for 2 beers. I'm not saying I wouldn't have. I'm just saying I've never had to. And a few of the challenges with ministry, or pardon me, comedy, is one thing is like I'm not even the funniest person in my house. Like my son, 16 years old, his name is David as well. And he's on the autistic spectrum. Someone comes up to him and says, "David, you do know vaccines cause autism." He looks him straight in the eye and says, "I don't have polio." In addition to that, like another thing that makes comedy hard is real life sometimes is funnier than any gig that I could, or bit that I could write. As a matter of fact, my supervisor at the church, her name was Kathy. My wife's name's Kim. That will be important information here in a second. So Kim and I are driving around one night. We need some cat food. We go into 7-Eleven. She specifically says, "Get Meow Mix. Get Meow Mix." I'm like, all right, I can follow instructions. Go in there, no Meow Mix. So I pull out my phone. All they have is Friskies. So I type into my cell phone, Friskies, ? Autocorrects, Frisky ? I send it to Kathy. You know what's up. For the record, she wasn't. And that's how you get written up in a church. Can I say though, I've been mostly a good dude. Been mostly a good dude my whole life. This is the closest I've ever been to a stripper pole. There's not even a naked woman on it. So if someone could change that, that'd be real helpful. And because someone's going to share a picture of this with my wife and say, "Where's David with a stripper pole?" And I'll get in trouble, and I didn't even get to see the naked woman. So, so marriage is kind of an interesting challenge. One night, my wife pulls out the laptop and she says, "Hey, I want you to watch this video." Normally, I'd be excited, but it said, "How to communicate to your wife with love and romance." And I said, "You know what?" I said, "I'll watch this." I took a vow. It's till death do us part. I open it up. I click on YouTube. It was 97 minutes long. I don't got time for that. I'll figure it out another way. Now, despite not being interested in watching a 97-minute video about communication, I have tried to pick up the occasional book on marriage. And the first one I picked up, see, here's the problem. These books are either secretly written by women or greatly influenced by women. The first one being that I picked up, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. I thought I had trouble when she was from South Bend. Now she's an alien life form? This ain't gonna help. The faith-based books ain't even any better. There's this one called 5 Love Languages. 5 love languages? I failed high school English. How many Rosetta Stones is that gonna take? I'm gonna write my own. I'm gonna write my own book. It's gonna say, "Yes, men, she's from Earth. She does speak English. The instruction manual." We won't read that either. So, in addition to working on my marriage, I'm actually trying to get in shape. I know you can tell by my physique. Trying to get in shape, and so I go to the gym, and here's the interesting thing about going to the gym. First of all, men, I can't speak for the ladies' locker room, but for the men's locker room, we got to get something straight. Men, the towel is not optional. Like, can we put the pandemic on hold for a second? Quit saying mask up. It's time to towel up. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's a guy that's been to a men's locker room. And so, there's three kind of people that go to the gym. The first one, the mirror lookers. A lot of mirror looking going on in the gym. They discover this technology of a mirror. They must not have that at their house. They're fascinated by the mirror. Next, the smallest amount of people that go to the gym are those that are there to work out. And the third, and the most irritating type of person, is the talker. Unfortunately, I discovered I was a talker. When the gentleman looked at me and said, "Sir, will you get out of my shower?" I had a towel on. I don't know what the problem is. I'm also trying to get, I'm going to therapy in addition. You know, I'm trying to get my mental health correct, you know, in addition to my physical health. Man, people love the mental health nowadays. Like, I get applause when I say that. So that's not even a joke. Like, so I go to the therapist, and the therapist says, "David, you're depressed." I'm like, "Took you 5 years of school to figure that out? Could have marked that on the box on the way in." And so I said, "Well, what do I do about this? What do I do about my depression?" She says, "Well, you got to get some rest and do things you enjoy." Get rest, do things. "You mean like take a nap and watch football?" She's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "I should have got this depression thing a long time ago. My Sunday afternoons are medically prescribed. Honey, I'm just down here treating my depression." So, I also have a grown daughter. She's giving me my first grandchild. She's 2 years old. Right on, yeah. Any grandparents in the room? All right, now, are your kids raising your grandkids the same way you raised them? No. Does that upset you? Yes. I don't know why. Like, my daughter thinks she invented parenting. To give you for instance, she runs out. She goes and gets this alarm set on the windows, on the doors, and if the child will, you know, start to get out of the house or open a window or something like that, then this alarm goes off, letting them know that the child is missing. And I just don't know why they can't figure out that their children are missing the same way we did back in the day. On the back of a milk carton box. Imagine with me, it's the 90s. "Honey, when's the last time you seen David Jr.? You might want to go check on him. We're out of Frosted Flakes." All right, that looks like my time. You've been a great crowd. Have a good one.